Everybody, am I recording? I am recording. Okay, let me just eeny, meeny, miny that one.
This is Wise and Nerdy, where fatherhood meets fandom.
I don't know. He was on last week. I don't know if I should give him that much airtime. Let's try a different one.
This is Wise
Oh
and
my
Nerdy,
God!
where fatherhood meets
Here,
fandom.
I'll take care of it. You ready?
Yes.
I've got it.
Welcome to Wise and Nerdy, where fatherhood meets fandom.
What is this? Oh my God. Wow. Theremin EDM. Who knew? Big thank you to Steven Adams. I thought that might be the case. I couldn't remember if it was these two next to each other or these two diagonal. It was the diagonal ones that both had Steven on them because there's two different versions. But thank you, Steven, for showing up last week. And yes, 110%, Joe. You only have the one intro, so you can't make people forget about me. I got to be part of it. So you got me distracted. Are you ready to really? We'll do it in a minute. I got you. So, whew, it's been crazy. Dragon Con's ramping up. I'm being pulled away, so I might end up missing every other show as we go forward. But we're gonna get some great people to step in and be a part of this. But don't worry, this daddy comes back with the milk. I always bring the cigarettes back. Don't worry about it. Well, I will be here. It's soon-ish, kid. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be at every game. You're not that great, Joe. You're not hitting home runs, and let my absence drive you harder. She can be better.
We'll deal with the custody agreement after Dragon Con.
Yeah, there you go. Absence makes the fart grow smellier, I guess. All right, what is the questiones over Los Weekos?
The question of the week is, what celebrity do you think would be an amazing friend?
Well, you've got me, so there's your answer.
He's got an IMDb page, guys.
I do, baby.
So while you're thinking about that, and so that I don't forget, we have an answer from DevoSite. So we'll play that first.
All right.
What celebrity would you think would be an amazing friend? Well, the rock god of podcasting, of course. Yeah, I see this. You hang out, go on walks, shared secrets.
I already do that.
Bad jokes. I mean, that Charles, he's such a scamp.
Long walks on the beach with your
Oh, no. See, he knows better. He knows I don't like sand. I don't like sand.
Okay, Anakin.
Look, I won't do volcanoes either, so I'm smarter than Anakin. I'm just saying. I am smarter. And less angry. I had one earlier when I saw the question. I'll think of what's yours?
I mean, there's a very easy choice in my mind.
I think I know who it is.
Keanu.
That's not who I thought you were going to go for.
I think he would be an awesome friend.
God, right.
He just seems like a straight up awesome guy. So, Keanu.
Yeah.
He's a national treasure.
He's a Canadian national treasure.
Hey, it's okay. We can claim him.
He's Canadian, right? I think he's Canadian.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I can still
I know,
claim
right?
him.
He's the best. There have definitely been a few, and usually like when I see them doing their work, I'm like, man, that we could really, really hang out. But I think Ryan Reynolds would be right up there for me.
I think you would vibe well with Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is who he is all the time, and we do see some serious acting from him, and so I think there's that. In his life, he can be serious, he can be funny most of the time. He's got the wit, but also it just feels like he's the guy who shows up, right? He's the if you needed something as a friend, he would be there. Man, there was. There's been more than one. There's not a ton, like maybe three that, if I'm watching her work, man, we really, for me, Nicolas Cage. I think it'd be really weird, but I think he
Okay.
and I would vibe like nobody's business. I love everything he does, even when it's just for money, and it's the weirdest thing ever. Except I'm not going to go see his newest film about the surfing. That's too. I watched Wicker Man, and that's as far into horror as I can go with Nicolas Cage.
That was such a weird movie.
It really was. This one looks
don't know if I
weird
even
and more
finished
horror
it.
based.
Yeah.
Would you like me to spoil it for
Nah,
you?
that's okay. I don't even care.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. They throw me in the
He
Wicker Man
probably
and light him on
dies.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, he's got a new. Anyway, for the time, Nicolas Cage has been my go-to imaginary celebrity friend since the day I started podcasting. Because early on, I'm talking about episode 10 or 12 in Bear Crawling, so really early on in my podcasting career, he was on Hard Times. And so I started making this meme before there were memes, because if I knew what a meme was, I'd have made it and actually put it on the internet. But I was just saying it on my show bit. Right, I started doing this bit. You can crash on my couch anytime, Nikki. And it just became this thing for like a year of me telling fake stories about how, he came, but he didn't stay for long. And I mean, I was full of crap. It's just fun. And so for 20 plus years, I think hanging out with Nicolas Cage would be a lot of fun. And then the guy who grew up learning English and watching Nicolas Cage, Fantastic Four, Last of Us.
Oh, Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. Who wouldn't want to hang out with Pedro Pascal? My guy.
I don't know a lot about him in person, but I mean, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. But I don't go on my way to know much about celebrities, to be honest. I don't really care.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
I don't get starstruck with people. I just don't. It doesn't happen.
I've
People
only
are
had
people.
I've only had it happen once or twice in a mild way. Once was a thing where I was going to ask somebody something that I was just out of place asking. Another was when okay, I told you, so I'll try to tell you. Director of Star Trek Track, Ensign Kim.
Oh, Garrett.
Garrett, yeah. Garrett,
Wang.
when I've talked to him a bunch of times, but when I was actually putting his phone number into my phone, I had a little moment there of like, I'm actually putting Ensign Kim's phone number in my phone. It's kind of weird.
It was fun talking to him on
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Random kid put in there, Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd vibe with him super well. I mean, I think we'd have a good time. Like if we were doing a panel together, I think it'd be great. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be. Jason Bateman, I used to hate him, but now I really dig his style. I think you'd always
I'm trying to think of who...
be poking at me.
Oh, okay. From Arrested Development.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. Ozarks. He hosts Smartless, which is a great podcast. I think all the Smartless would be great friends to have. Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and I had his name to try to say his name. I keep losing it as soon as I try to say it. Just Jack from Will and Grace.
Okay.
But yeah, they're all cool people. But I'll tell you, for me, as I'm going through this list, I mean, these are all, it's still a small list, right? Of people that be real. Keanu's, you know how you have games, you have D tier, C tier, B tier. He's God tier. I mean, Keanu is just on
S-tier.
point with everything. God.
Yep.
He even made fun of himself in some movie as himself. It was so hilarious. Like he was so uber, like over the top zen. It wasn't even funny. It's like, man, the fact that you can just even make fun of yourself is so cool. Some lady broke into his house, like a stalker, crazy fan, broke into his house, and he just sat there and like 2 a.m, he found her. He just sat down. He called the cops, of course. He just sat down and talked to her until the cops showed up. And this is post Matrix, so he could have whooped some butt. And he did, but for creativity, I think the celebrity I'd want to have as my friend, besides Phil Keating, I know it's not obligatory. I got to tell that name. The reason I do it every time when we're recasting roles, I like to really troll people with it. But I think she is amazing, and she's an amazing creator, And I'd love to be friends with Melissa McCarthy.
Okay, all right.
I like her style.
She could be fun.
She's got heart. She's
Suki,
fun.
right?
Suki.
Of all the roles, that's the
of
one
all
I like.
the roles, man. You should watch her in Heat with Sandra Bullock. And
Didn't she do a superhero one?
I can't remember. I've watched a lot of stuff she's done. I can't remember specifically the superhero one.
I'm trying. It's what was it? Melissa McCarthy, right?
Yes, Melissa McCarthy.
I feel like she did one where she got superpowers. Her and another woman. It was like a buddy cop one, but they got superpowers. I feel like
I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to look it up to see if I can even remember the one I'm thinking of. But
you shouldn't watch Bridesmaids, but you should. There's one that she did where an AI computer kind of took over her life and blackmailed her into doing things, and that was hilarious.
Oh yeah, Thunder Force. Her and Octavia Spencer
I don't think I've seen that one.
Did a buddy cop one where they got superpowers randomly, and it's funny. It was very funny. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Yeah, it is on Netflix.
Yeah. And special mention goes to, I don't know about Friends, but I would be honored to have a nice 3-hour dinner and drinks with Willem Dafoe. It just talked to him about his life. But that's more of an interview kind of talk thing. I don't know if we could be friends, but I think the world of Willem Dafoe and all the different roles he's brought and done and everything there. So,
yep.
So you had a good one, and I had like 10 that were okay. So there we go.
Anson Mount seemed like he was a pretty straight up guy when
we
got to talk to him.
Guy. We had zero connection, but he's very nice.
Yeah. Well, and the question is, what celebrity do you think would be an amazing friend?
Right.
So my thought is, who seems like a genuinely good guy? That's where my mind went with it.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Because I actually went into who I vibe with, and that's either way, it's fine. But yeah, there's definitely some
people I'd vibe with that I wouldn't necessarily want to be friends with either. You know what I mean?
Again, you bring me up. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. So,
oh man.
All right. Now, before you roll the dice, we have to do calling the daddios in. So you ready?
I suppose so.
3, 2, 1. Daddy! Roll that dice, baby.
Joe's.
Oh my God! You have to always make it about you, Joe. For freak's
every
sake.
Time.
Farfanugan.
Bad dad jokes.
This one I saved for you.
All right, wait. Before you hit any buttons, I had your show on last week. Well, our show. I because before I was trying to connect in with my wireless mic and still have the audio come through the stereo so I could hear it. It won't do that. So I decided, well, because there can be some issues. I know the car mic's not the greatest, whatever. I'll just watch, and every once in a while I'll comment, like at a stoplight or something. So before I left the parking lot, I jumped in and said, "Hey guys, I'm watching you on the show," and then I put the phone right, and like a stalker, exactly. And that's why they make Life 360. It's not just for stalking ex-girlfriends; it's also for stalking your kids. But yeah, put the phone down in the. So I'm listening to you guys. So you got to the bad dad jokes things. And full run through really earned the noisiest, most annoying baby present I could find with that story about prom. And then you're like, oh, I'll just play it again. And I pulled over and went, no, you won't. Oh, no, you will not, sir. I heard it the first time. We're good. So I just want to make sure you're not bringing that through this.
No, this is a different one that I saved for today.
All right.
because I forgot to save that one for today, but you heard it. It was great.
Agree to disagree.
I didn't even realize it was supposed to be a bad dad joke. So, all right, here we go.
I was thinking the other day about bad dad jokes, and it came to me. I think I know what I can do to make them more palatable for you, Charles. I'm going to add a little something extra to help make it more enjoyable for you.
Some razzmatazz.
A chicken was walking through the field when he came across a horse stuck in the mud. The horse said, "Hey, go up to the farmhouse and get the farmer's Porsche. Bring it down here and pull me out of the mud." The chicken went back to the house, got the Porsche, drove down, and pulled the horse out of the mud.
It's an impressive chicken.
A few days later, the horse came by the same chicken stuck in yet another mud puddle. The chick said, "Hey, horse, go to the farmhouse and get the farmer's Porsche and pull me out of this mud puddle." The horse looked at the situation and said, "I think this mud puddle's not as big as the mud puddle I got stuck in. So I think I can stand over it, and if you reach up and grab my undercarriage, I can pull you out." The chicken reached up, grabbed the horse's undercarriage, and the horse pulled him out of the mud. So, the moral of this story is to pick up chicks. You don't need a Porsche when you're hung like a horse.
Oh,
Wow!
no. Whoa! It's a bad
This
uncle
tail
joke.
would have worked. Why? Joe, do you need to take a sacrament now, or what?
I've got a different joke. You ready?
Wait, no. Good on you, John. That was more palatable. You had a little spice in there. So, all right.
All right. Knock, knock.
You ran away. Oh, I know what this is. Who's there?
You just got ding dong ditched.
I saw that TikTok. I think I sent you that TikTok. Where like a 3-year-old did it. This is why these jokes are so dumb. So dumb.
I went out for milk, but I came back, so I guess that wouldn't work.
I hate this part of the show so much. So much.
Oh, but to start with, it is just awesome. It sets such a great tone for the rest of the show.
Does it though?
It really, really
does. It though?
Alrighty.
Daddy, tell me a story.
Oh wow. Going from bad dad jokes to life called and it wants to break up with jokes. Me. All right, so this one's mine. And it's kind of a ending of a chapter, if you will, going on. So you talked about how last year things were tight, hard on me, stressful. When I say tight, stressful on me with the EMS company. And to be truthful, I don't feel like I've gotten my full kudos for what I've done over there, but I might be sensitive. I don't know. Started in January, things changed. And then in February, I came to home and started working on my own and decompressed from all of that. And today the phone call came that I've been anticipating and somewhat dreading. Have you ever had to have a surgery, Joe?
Not anything major except my wisdom teeth, but that's really not.
What was it?
Major.
Was it something that was a couple months out and you just had to wait for it to get there, or was it something like the next day?
No, a couple months out.
Okay, so I don't know how you handled it, but if you were married at the time, women tend to handle, or wives tend, because they care for us, whatever. Whatever. Wife likes you, whatever. But they kind of spin on it, right? And it's almost like I know this thing's gonna have to come. I know it's gonna be difficult, whatever. But it's the waiting on it to happen that's the toughest. And so I knew the truth was that charities are not jobs. It's not an entrepreneur thing. It's not, just go out and hustle, knocking on the door. Take your 100 no's to get that one yes, because eventually you get that one yes. Charity is submit, and wait to see if they have any questions or if they say no or if they say yes. And it just takes time. And I see zero path to anything I can do to make that go faster. So we've submitted 30 different
solicitations,
grant requests. I guess it's the same thing. Yeah. And only maybe 5 at this point have come back negative. Like, no, we're not going to do it this time. Most of them come back with like, holy crap, this is awesome. But professionally, they say we've basically given away all of our money in this cycle, so we can't help you. They use words like mission aligned and so on and so forth. Cool. But
got to get those buzzwords in.
Yeah, and so I knew the entrepreneur that was funding me in this. You know the saying that a carpenter with a hammer, to them, everything's a nail. No matter what, everything's a nail, right? And that's how it is I don't know about for every entrepreneur, but definitely for the one I was working with. Everything's a nail. Just go hustle. Just go do this. Just build. Just go. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm making my post. I'm sharing it out. I got Metron, who was amazing, to have us be the what he didn't call it charity of the week. It's or the month. It's I don't know. Basically, we were the cause of the month for them to support. And I even made a special graphic that they shared a bunch of times that had a QR code, raised $0, but they give. So I got a nice little donation from them. So it's like build awareness, build. I'm doing all that stuff. Maybe not as much as I could be because I'm still new to it, but it's not like, oh, if I just go knock on 5 doors today, one of them will buy my sprockets, that kind of thing. And I knew it just wasn't lining.
George Jetson.
Cogsley Cogs, baby. That was a competition, I think, anyway. Cogsley Cogsworth. I knew the visions weren't aligning. And that's honestly, I said it today to him. This is possibly the best way to end the chapter, other than, billions of dollars coming in and we go off to conquer the world. It's probably the best way to end the chapter because he gave me a heads up. July 1st, my income stops. And that gives me plenty of time to figure out the steps. I've already been working a lot of different angles. Part of that you'll hear later on in the show. It was a very interesting phone call because part of me was a little sad. Part of me was happy. And it kind of fluctuated. It's like, it seems like a lot, but at the same time, I'm going, we already had backup plans. Already had people prep that, hey, if I call you, I might need some hours to teach. What I'm not happy and that I'd like people to learn from in this moment, I learned from it, is don't do something you don't believe in. And it's hard to explain that. I'm going to try. But it's because I understand in my motion of life, I'm getting 100% away from a job. I just can't do it anymore. I can't work for somebody that pays me. I need to be a partner in things. I need to hustle. I did the hustle for a while. I learned some more lessons. The path I took was the right one. I ended up at the school for a few years. It cut you off. I didn't hear you joke. I'm so sorry. Did you bite an undercarriage?
No.
No? Okay.
I didn't actually say anything.
Oh, sorry. Every once in a while when I'm talking.
Do the hustle.
No, it's hard out here for a pimp. Come on, man. Hustling. Anyway, we each have our own different hustles, as you can tell. So I went to the school and learned a lot of things and moved in a different direction and got empowered to be where I am today. Then went from there to the ambulance company, got to prove myself that I'm not full of crap. My ideas, when put into practice, actually worked. And I actually learned how to refine tactics and to talk to people better and build networks and connect to people. But at the end of the day, as much as you guys might hate to hear this, the biggest lesson I learned was I'm always right. Because I knew for 2 decades that I could change things. And then I did.
Yeah. Well, and you, like, obviously the definitive date is news to you, but you've known for a long time that yes, his financial support was, as far as full financial support, was a short-term thing in general, right?
Yeah, and I like clean breaks, and it made it even more stressful because if it had been just a clean break of, hey, at back in March, it's like, we're going to pull you off of this, and I still want to help you do one EMS. I'll make some donations, but you're going to have to figure it out, and I'll consult with you, whatever. That would have been a different power dynamic. Thank you for bringing that up, because I'm getting to the point of the last conversation we had a couple weeks ago. He was frustrated, and I could tell that either he has an inner voice saying he shouldn't be supporting me and get rid of me, but he wants to fight that, or there's some exterior voices saying that. Because the way he presented things, it's just the vibe and the impressions that I'm feeling off of him. And I was starting a school across the street here with a friend of mine, and it was going to benefit one EMS. I'm like, oh, I paused building my own school to work on this because, one, he was already spent all the money and he's 5 steps ahead. 2, it's right here. 3, having an address right here for an EMS opens up Metro Atlanta donations, whereas having the address in Athens doesn't necessarily do that, because there's certain people that want you to have a Metro address. And technically my county is Metro Atlanta. It's the suburbs. I mean, it's pretty far out, but still considered suburbs, according to whoever writes that crap up.
Yeah.
So in that moment, he's like, no, I need to recoup some of my money that I put into this. So you need to start a school. We need to go and start a school. We need to get it down. We're going to charge. He starts rattling off numbers. This is the things he does when he's frustrated. He starts rattling off numbers. He just goes down all these wiry paths that are exhausting, to be truthful. Stop chasing every idea and I've learned so well. That's one of the biggest lessons I did learn through all this is I used to be that guy. Oh, Joe, we can start Wise and Nerdy. Oh, then I can see where we can merch this. Then I can see where we could do these live shows. Then I can see this tour. And I'm doing that like show 2. And it drove everybody around me crazy. Because it still takes a lot of steps to get there. And if we don't target something, which we have with Wise and Nerdy, but if we don't target something, whatever. And so he was doing that. So I'm like, fine, whatever, I'll do it. I didn't fully believe in it. It's over an hour away from my house. It's going to monopolize many of my nights, which makes doing what I'm already doing difficult, right? Because my life, I can swap to having days off and working nights. I've done that before. That's not the problem. Problem is I have Be Awesome Together on Tuesday nights. I have Wise and Nerdy on Thursday nights. And I also have Dragon Con on Thursday nights. I actually have Dragon Con on Tuesday nights too. A whole different thing. It's a thing. But it doesn't conflict with Be Awesome Together. We were able to manage that. I have my Sunday gig. I have just so many irons in the fire, right? And
clearly you got to expedite your progress with Dragon Con to one of those paid positions.
Yeah, no kidding. You don't think I'm going to call up Regina tomorrow and like, hey,
I've got some time on my hands.
Yeah.
How about you get me in that 401k, get me on payroll? Yeah.
I don't need your 401k. I just need payroll. That's all I need. I'm easy like that. I'm easy.
Yeah, Regina works that con circuit though. Maybe you can.
I know.
Hop in on that, because how many cons does she does? What, like 6 or 7 cons?
I think more than that. But I think it's all volunteer.
Oh, okay.
Well, Dragon Con's not volunteer. She's a paid position at Dragon Con, but
all the other ones are.
I don't know. I don't know. But that would be what I would assume as opposed to assuming paid. But what I should have said in that meeting is like, our visions are not aligned. Some version of this, right? We're not seeing it the same way. I believe that patience is a virtue in this thing. This is the long game with one EMS. It could take 9 to 18 months to hear back.
He was hoping for a quicker turnaround.
Every time he talked to the grant writer, we want to start by April. She's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Especially if you only start in January asking for money, you're not going to have it by April. June is very, very ambitious even. But you have to have a date.
Not only that, but in the medical field right now, I mean, mine's only tangentially related to medical because it's insurance, but all of the company talk is insurance usage has skyrocketed. And so at least our insurance company, and I don't know how other insurance companies are handling it, we have frozen all hiring except for like absolutely necessary. We've frozen all executive spending, like going to conferences and anything that's not day-to-day business. Like
that honestly doesn't affect what I do.
No, but the people who you might be soliciting or requesting
Well,
grants from.
I'm reaching out to
I don't know who.
big bigs like Home Depots of the world and Wells Fargo's and those kind of things of the multi-million-dollar corporations that give away hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to have their tax write-offs and to look good standing there with a big fat check. Look, we supported EMS kind of deal.
I mean, the company I work for does stuff like that. So,
well, yeah, and you know what? I would hope. I know how bad this sounds, and people, you can add us all day long, but that's two different departments. When you're talking about payroll and hiring versus charitable giving is a write-off for them, and it's free PR as opposed to paying for marketing.
It is, but write-offs don't cover the entire cost of what you've donated.
It should. Why not?
I mean, I'm not an attorney.
Let's get back to my story. You just go back thinking about that chicken in the poop, okay? Or the pond or whatever it was in. I don't know what it's in. I wasn't listening. I tuned out these jokes. The horse in the
saddle.
Yeah, the horse was in the saddle, and the chicken was in the Volvo. I don't know. So here's the thing, Joe. I should have said when he was like, I've got to be better. It's about power dynamics, and when I'm working on this, and hopefully I'll never be in this position again because I want to be working for myself for the rest of my life. So I can negotiate. I can stand on whatever. I can move things. But we're always working together as opposed to me working for you type of deal. Because there's a power dynamic that is there that when somebody's paying your entire payroll to make sure you have food on my table, that when they go, they're obviously irritated and they're not overtly threatening to take the money away, but there's always that underscore of the money can go away. That throws me off. And then inherently I go, okay, I'll do this thing even though I think it's the wrong thing to do. And what I should have said was, I don't see it that way. I did say, man, I can get a job. And he's like, no, I want you doing this. So like, well, that should have freed me up. And that was on me. It should have freed me up to say, I don't see it this way. I don't see the value in driving over an hour one way 2 to 3 nights a week to teach this class, to jump to all these, when I can work right here on helping him get forward and getting this thing set up. And so I did it for the wrong reasons. And I say that to say, it's all mine now. When EMS Unified is mine, I've got to look at our book to see what the actual legal path of, because he's going to remove himself from the board. So far as we're still friendly, we're still good. I still like to consult with him on some other things. But I just needed that power dynamic to shift. I just see on good news, I passed inspection by the state on Tuesday for that location. So I've got a school location now.
Nice.
And I'm very close to I might have to spend some money to get this teaching system, but I almost did it today. I'm glad I didn't. And I like random kid. You just need to hit big with some of those penny stocks. But you really have to trust the process and trust in yourself. And I'm going to consult with some other friends of mine who are in this business who've done some of this journey with me, because now I have to figure out, well, what's the ramifications tax-wise or business-wise? Because I don't have a business license. I have a charity, so I've got to look into that to say, how do I charge for this class in this space and pay myself from it? And then it's definitely still not going to be enough to put food on my table.
Yeah, because it's going to go through the charity and then pay administrative costs for
which
the charity.
You can, right? I can do that. It's like, hey, we put on this class. I paid my own payroll at $60,000 a year, which I think is, nobody's going to challenge that when you're talking about teaching classes, and in this world. And I do feel for you if 60,000 sounds like a lot, because in this economy, it's not. It's the bottom end of middle class is what 60,000 is, unfortunately. And I railed against that a couple of months ago with you, Joe, about I've worked all my life to try to hit $100,000, and it turns out all I've done is follow the goalposts up because no matter how hard I've worked, I've just stayed lower middle class all my life financially. Anyway, so it was a little bit of a shock call. It was a good call. I was processing a bunch of different emotions, but I've talked to a few little people since then, and Aaron's really good. I am going to start driving Lyft like tomorrow, basically. I got to earn $230 a day to break even 5 days a week. So it's a pretty big target to hit without having a job. But I'll talk about my celebration in a minute. But I'm going to say I'm still trusting the process. And I am actually excited about standing in front of people and instructing them. I just don't know how it's going to fit into my life schedule with where it's at and where I need to be. But I have so many different dominoes set up that hopefully it will knock down. And I want to tell you this to all the dads out there and the lady daddies, if you will, that trust your instincts. If you feel like the end is near, I don't know how to phrase it otherwise. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but there's that sense that you have. If you're paying attention, you could feel the vibe change. You could just say something's off, something's different, and you may go and ask your supervisor or somebody. No. Trust your instincts. It's almost like animals when they know the storm's coming, or like bears in the winter or whatever. They start nesting up, whatever. When my wife was pregnant, there was a phase of the pregnancy that she just was getting into that what they call the nesting phase of just really preparing the house and the baby's room and this and that and the other. So you got to trust your instincts and going, this is not the first or the second or the third time I've seen it coming. Ride the ride, but be prepared. And there were definitely days leading up to today that I was having some negative moments. I was spiraling a little bit like, oh my God, if the money goes away tomorrow, and getting negative and angry and this. So, but the reality is I can jump back and lift. I made sure I did my profile on my acting page, not IMDb, which I do have, but my central casting background acting page is all up to date, and let them know that I'm available again. There are ways for me to make money. I already have friends that start tagging things out. John says I would trust my life riding with a Lyft driver who's an EMT. Yeah, I'd hope so. Also, I'm very highly entertaining when I drive. But there's that too. I have my EMT numbers. I can find a way to get a part-time job that fits the way I want to work and bring in some money. There's no, oh my God, shock. And the reason there's no, oh my God, shock is because I've spent my life paying attention to the fact that I make it through everything, number one. Number two is I prepare. We've been saving money. We've talked about scenarios over and over again, my wife and I, about what would happen if, and we're mentally ready to go, okay, we're going to put our plan into action. And I then immediately texted a few friends and said, okay, I got the call. And, if you know of anything, I'm just looking for some like freelance pickup work, that kind of stuff. I'll figure it out. Don't think I'm not going to call Regina tomorrow. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to actually do this, but I can't help it. I keep thinking about Criminal Minds and Shamar. Hey, baby girl, let me get a job from you. There's all that, and I am excited because now I feel like I'm free. And let me tell you, and we'll move on. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say.
No, go for it.
But the happiest I ever was the first time I got laid off and lost my job, and just got on the hustle. And I was doing live events, and which is actually something I could probably do again, although I'm not entirely sure. With the chaotic schedule, I don't know if I want to do that. But I was doing AV stuff. I was driving Lyft when it first came to Atlanta, so it was a lot harder than now to get those things working. I was doing karaoke, like hosting it. I was hosting trivia. I was hustling, and I was so happy because I worked on my terms, and I was hungry because we literally had to bring. Yeah, laid off. Yeah, random kid. That's the quote for tonight. The happiest I ever was the first time I got laid off. And because it drove my wife crazy because she needed that stability. She didn't know how to see the world I could see. And she literally went for a year telling people when they asked her, what does your husband do? She goes, I don't know. He tells people to pay him and they do. That's a direct quote. And I loved it, but I realized how chaotic it was for her. And so I started picking up the other stuff that led me to where I am today. But it did lead me to where I am today, to where she can see how the pieces work, that she knows no matter what, I'll always put food on the table, and it's all good. So prepare for your future. Never get complacent. And even if you're happy in your job, one, you should always be saving for the rainy day because you're going to retire at some point. But you'd always, every 6 months, be looking to see what's out there and see what works for you, because you never know what opportunities are there. Even if you like your job now, there might be your perfect job, your happiest spot in life right over here. But if you don't look up, you won't see it. So there's a Dilbert t-shirt I have where Dogbert says that I'm not unemployed, I'm a consultant. Go look at my Facebook page, John. I said, well, one, I'm in the market for a sugar daddy. But if I don't get the sugar daddy, I'm in the market as an EMS consultant, a digital media consultant, and producer. Those kind of things. So
he wants to consult with your wallet.
Absolutely. So, all right, real quick. Let's as you roll the dice, I'm gonna put this one up from Random Kid. I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
There. Random Kid says, the strangest Lyft story. My driver was asking for advice about how to handle arranging a collab with his girl and a side piece. And I mispronounced that intentionally wrong. But yeah, that's inappropriate.
It's quite the Lyft conversation to have.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Time for a commercial break.
All right. You know what? I don't have any music set up, so let me pull that here. You know what? I haven't told Mike Woodard yet about that. Mike Woodard has been doing pretty well for himself. Do you know what Mike Woodard's doing right now? Not like literally right this second, but with his life.
He's got a lot of things in the irons, but no, not specifically.
He is 60-something years old, okay? And 2 or 3 months ago decided to go back to school. He's going to broadcasting school in Colorado.
Okay.
By the way, he lives maybe 30 minutes from Ibbott now. They're in the same vicinity. And he's really doing well at it.
How far of a bike ride for Ibbott?
He'd get there. Ibbott get there in an hour or so. He's a super biker. I think Ibbott's in Aurora, and Mike is like the next suburb over or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Basically. And they're all in the Denver area. I believe that is. So, Mike Woodard at 67 years old has gone back to school with a bunch of youngins to go to broadcasting school. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in him when he's posting things. Like, he's always done voiceover, literally for a living. He's done voiceover. He's done all kind of work. He did some radio work back in the day. And of course, nowadays it's some of that, but it's a lot of video production and audio production, and
his posts in general seem a lot more upbeat.
Yeah.
For a while there, I could tell he was in a dark place, but his posts lately have been very positive.
Yeah, and I'm very happy for him. So here comes our commercial break. All right. Look, everybody, I don't have a job anymore, so you really need to go to patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy and sign up for the sugar daddy level. We need to have a sugar daddy level, Joe. The sugar daddy level, so that Joe can also quit his job and we can just do this full time. Because I tell you what, Joe, no lies, right? We'd do at least 3 shows a week if we got paid to do this full time. We'd have all kind of fun.
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum. We'd be doing kid content. If you watch Stoner Gump, we just do that, but family friendly.
We'd have to alternate between daily wise tips and daily nerdy tips.
Yes, and we'd kill the dad jokes. So, but don't worry about that. Just donate. Sugar Daddy level.
No. We'd have to have those daily in addition.
Well,
to
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Let me tell you something else about today, Joe. I got inspired because I really am in a teaching mode. Part of the Be Awesome Together reformatting, really, it's not a rebrand, it's reformatting, is Tyra and I are going to be using that for an educational platform about how to really do all these things in digital media that we like to talk about and do. And this past Tuesday night's recording was the first time we did it. And it's called Rated R for retiring, restarting, or rebranding your show. And so y'all can go check it out. It's on all the digital media track stuff, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We're gonna be pulling up our own channels. We're separating there, but it's really made a hit because we had points, we had a format, and we really got a bunch of information out. And then today, I did some really, when I say inspired, I mean, I was talking to someone about something else that really true. And I did not one but two videos about victim mentality. And, hopefully it'll land with people. It's been a good creative day today. And I want to do more of that. And that's where I want to really get paid. So that was my lesson for today. Teddy, tell me a story. So you need to go to Patreon and pass the plate and put some $500 bills in there. It would be great.
Those tiers are just suggestions. You can increase it as much as you want.
That's true. Joe get his 10%, and I'll thank you for the rest.
Oh man.
Hey, do Mormons take offering?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I honestly never thought about that minute detail.
Yeah, they don't like pass around a plate or anything, but yeah, you can go online and donate, or they've got over by some of
do
the
they do
offices
tithing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't believe in tithing, but whatever.
They've got a whole form of stuff that you could donate for, like building new church buildings and for the missionary work and stuff like that. But yeah, they do tithing and whatnot. So.
Gotcha. All right, that's not what we called to talk about. There's some show business to take care of. What's the question of the week coming up in a month and a half from now?
The question of the week in 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks.
On June 26th is, what personal trait has gotten you in the most trouble?
I won't be here for that one, I don't think.
Oh, shoot, dang. Should have timed that better.
You might. Well, you've already announced it, so.
We've announced
it. You know
it's
what?
It's got to happen.
I can try to leave a speak pipe. Yeah, I can try to call
You can head on over to wiseanddirty.com/calldad and leave your own speak pipe.
Hey, in 2 weeks, I don't have the date right in front of me, but basically in 2 weeks, Wise and Nerdy will be live at Southern Fried Gaming Expo, and you'll get to see us do this thing in real fleshy time.
Is that one in 2 weeks? I thought it was Atlanta Comic Con, and
no, Atlanta Comic Con
was in July.
You got them backwards.
Do I have them mixed up?
Yep.
All right.
You got them mixed up.
Got them mixed up.
Yep, June is Southern Fried, so that's in 2 weeks, and Atlanta is Atlanta Comic Con is in a month-ish, a little over a month. So we're going to be doing that. I'm very much looking forward to Southern Fried because we did pretty good with Wise and Nerdy last year, so hopefully we'll get some return and more.
Yeah.
And then, man, Phantom Face Off just blew the room out.
That
was my best show.
Phantom Face Off does so much better when there's more people, and it was packed, and it was awesome.
It was my first best show ever. Honestly, the second one was at Kennesaw State, where nobody knew me from anybody. Well, this year they do a tiny little one-day con for their students, and there's 40, 50 students that kind of come through, and some do cosplay, anime. There's all kind of little things, and they did better this year. And I just went out and did that. I told that story. I did the dad things like, "We're doing this over here. You get your butts in it." Those kids went nuts. It was amazing. So yeah, it's fun stuff. So that's coming up. I think it's June 14th, if I remember correctly. No.
Okay.
No, it's a week after the 14th. I don't have my schedule right in front of me. I'm not pulling up the calendar,
so
but
that's like a week away.
No, it's not the 14th. It's the Saturday after the 14th. I'm actually going to pull up the calendar now. So it's the 21st. It's June 21st.
So it overlaps with Southern Fried.
What? I'm talking about Southern Fried right now.
I thought you were still talking about the Kennesaw one.
No, that was back in like February. Joe, did you get into the old communion wine? just checking, Peepers.
We don't do wine.
Mr.
We do
Peepers.
water.
Do you at least put Mio in it to make it purple? Come on. Some of those Kool-Aid little packs. Come on, just water. I never had wine for church, but I had grape juice. Come on. You don't do grape juice?
Nope.
Welch's, Jesus' choice. Unless you went to the small town church, then it was whatever Aldi's had.
We can't afford that. It's just grape Kool-Aid.
I love grape Kool-Aid. Don't get me started. All right. What else? We had a question. We have any random sweet pipes to play?
We do not this week.
Okay.
So I guess it's time to roll the dice. Unless you got some.
No, let's do it to it.
Alrighty.
Council of Dads.
Parliament of Papas! Mother lover!
Talking about side hustles.
Yeah. I love that Joe found this. He didn't bring this one. This is not his story. He found this one.
It is not my story. But it does make me think of someone that we know from Dragon Con who does the aerobatic stuff with the what is that called even? I don't know. Anyway, regardless, that it did make me think of her. So this comes to us from the I'll sensitize it. The Am I the Butt Face?
A pole dancer made you think of church?
No. This post
Yes?
made me think of the girl that we know from Dragon Con who
I thought you said
posts,
somebody you know from church. Sorry. Okay.
No, that we know from Dragon Con who posts it. I don't. What's the entertainment style where they wrap themselves up in the cloth and they do all the aerial. Is it aerial ballet?
Stripping.
No, they're not stripping and there's no pole.
I know there's aerialist. Yes, it's
okay. Anyway, regardless,
I like seeing you dig that hole, buddy. It's so good.
Okay, I'm not Shia LaBeouf. I'm not digging any holes. Okay?
Kelsey stomping on the floor like, "Shut up, Joe."
Oh man. All right. So, am I the butt face to my girlfriend for liking a classmate and friend's Instagram post of her pole dancing?
She's a dental hygienist.
So that's not yet. She's not a dental hygienist yet.
She's in school for dental hygienistry.
She's on the path.
Yeah.
So
he liked a friend's pole dancing post?
Yes. So let me read it. A friend of mine from grad school is a pole dancer by sport. She takes it seriously and has won pole dancing competitions. She is not a stripper and by no means posts anything that can be construed as a thirst trap. Her Instagram is mostly her pole dancing because she's an instructor and teaches. Her outfits consist mainly of athletic wear. Think of gym running shorts and tops you'd see girls in at the gym. Every year, the school has a talent show, which I attended. And I didn't even attend to see her, nor did I know she'd be performing. I believe
there's a quote from Princess Bride.
I follow this friend on Instagram, and she posted her performance. I liked it to show my support as a friend and a classmate. This is the only post of hers I liked. My girlfriend says she found this girl's profile through the suggested list on Instagram.
Because he liked it, they're connected.
And saw that I liked the post, which made her blow up on me. Girlfriend called me a creep for liking a thirst trap. That it's disrespectful to her as my girlfriend for liking it, and that if her friends saw, that it would be embarrassing for her. She also said this.
Why is she a cow? Sorry.
She also said this when she blew up on me. It kind of disgusts me. You're looking at any other woman. I don't do that. I would never disrespect you like that. I would also not seek
whoa. Let me pull up some topless Idris Elba and see how quickly you shut up. All right. Everybody thirst traps over Idris, lady. Come on.
I would also not seek out attention like that from anyone or give it. I deserve the same, especially some lame pole dancer. That's just disrespectful. So he's asking if he is the butt face for supporting his friend and classmate. And he says, just to clarify, I'm not attracted to her at all, nor do I see her in that way.
I had my hand raised when you're talking about it could not be construed as a thirst trap. My hand shot right up. It's like, yes, it can. 1,000%. I get it. If you look at the whole page, and she's an instructor and she's doing teaching, gotcha. It's a business.
Her entire page is her pole dancing. He does clarify that. And athletic wear. Well, there's a movement going on for men right now saying women are not wearing enough in the gym. Like it's got a little, in some cases, a little risque, let's say. But gym culture is not. It's got issues all around.
Anything can be a thirst trap. Just ask me when I'm looking at CarMax at the EV vehicles, okay? But it absolutely can be. 100%.
Don't get those EVs wet. They might blow up.
Not that kind of thirst. We're not feeding them liquids. Look, yeah, I wouldn't say you're a butt face. I say you're a dumb face because, yeah, John, the lies we tell ourselves. Here's the thing. If she's wearing what you would need to wear to do this kind of competition, by nature, it can be. Just because she's not posting it to say, hey, look at me. Although you can't argue that she's kind of not, because we all post that say, hey, look at me. People are still going, ooh, look at that. And they may not follow because, she's obviously not trying to get me to like her other spicy pages. Pattern recognition. What? One like? You did one? It happened to be on the video where she was actively doing something where you were in the room for, man? Yeah. Just be honest with yourself, brother. Just be honest. And apologize. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't realize. Because she's being a little unreasonable. I think she's being unreasonable because he's in denial. Right?
See, I'm going to classify him as the butt face, not for liking the picture, for how he reacted when his girlfriend expressed her discomfort. The way he reacted in defending it and not acknowledging that she was uncomfortable. That's why I'm going to label him the butt face. Because regardless, this is your girlfriend. If she expresses discomfort, you need to sit and have an honest discussion instead of automatically being defensive about it. You need to think, okay, well, how is this actually impacting my girlfriend, especially if you're serious about her? Because you have to think about those feelings, and they should matter more than I can like whatever I want. Because at that point, it's just pride speaking and not anything else.
And she smells BS a mile away because this whole thing's BS. It is. Check your text. I need an answer.
But even if we take him at face value and assume he's not lying to himself, which, he's on the internet. So
100% is. Okay, any story where you're the hero and everybody else is the villain is untrue.
Yep.
And that's how the story is told. Oh, I was just supporting her. Oh, I was just comforting her and her clothes fell off. I don't know what happened. Come on, man. Check your text. I need an answer on the text message I sent you.
No.
But I can't. Or you won't check it.
No, I checked it.
All right. It's relevant to the story, Joe, but fine. So, censorship.
We've already had one bad uncle moment. We don't need another.
Yeah, no. It's. So here's the thing. It would be a true story if there was a history of liking and sharing. and sending it to his girlfriend like, hey, this is my friend in school. I'm trying to support her. Check her out, like her page. That kind of thing. Because then it would open up, I don't like you doing this. And they could have a talk. Because I don't know how old they are. Does it say by any chance? Sometimes it does. Does it say how old they are?
It does not.
Okay.
But I think they're in grad school, so I'm assuming 20s.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say with the classmate.
Early to mid 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. So still young, dumb, and insecure. And I remember being that age, and my wife was jealous of me talking about my female paramedic partner because I was just talking about the good parts of my day because I didn't want to talk about the bad parts of my day. So it just made it sound worse or whatever. And that's not this. So people get insecure, this and that and the other. You would have found that out if you'd been honest. I actually asked this question. By association, being digital media and doing what I do, I know some OnlyFans content creators. I don't see those pages. I don't go looking for those pages. I know they do that. I work with them in the other side of digital media, panels and those kind of things. And I actually brought up that question. It's like, as a man who wants to respect women, as a man who wants to be honorable, I guess, it's weird for me to like and share this thing. But also as a creator, I know you and I want to help you do what you do. I want to like and share. How do I bridge that gap?
What can I do to support you without being a creep?
Right. You got it, man. And he's not asking that because even my wife knows the same creators. And sometimes she'll see their stuff on TikTok and share because she knows them and whatever. But that's the thing. My wife will send me some stuff. And I'm like, are you sending me the woman or are you sending me what's going on? It's like, oh no, don't worry about what's going on. Look at this girl. And the phrase I texted you, it's what she says to me. Okay, Joe, that you won't let me say on the show. But that's the thing. She goes, I don't like you looking at these women. Well, if he'd been honest about it, well, let's be real. In my opinion, and I'm going to stop rambling here. In my opinion, he is full of BS. And he absolutely liked it because the man side kicked in. And honestly, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that if you have a good relationship where your partner knows that you only have eyes for them. Early on in my relationship with my wife, we were watching, I think it's the second Zorro with Antonio Banderas, and he whips off the mask and goes, I'm Zorro. And from her, she's like, oh, she had one of those chills and I was like, what the what? It's not what I said, but it's all I can say on the show. What the what? And she's like, yeah, I'm a woman. I don't know what. And that's why I brought up Idris Elba. She's like, well, I wouldn't like that. Let's stop lying to ourselves all the way around. Women look at other women. Women look at other men. Men look at other men. And men look at other women. It is what you do with that or where you make your partner feel safe that's important. So, yeah, Joe, in my opinion, as a dad, as a papa in this thing, that absolutely he's the butt face for everything in that.
Yes. And the judgment by Reddit as a whole was he is the butt face.
Yeah. Were there any good comments that just really cut to the chase?
Let's see. So the top comment is it doesn't really matter what you crowdsource because the point of the relationship is not to win arguments. You had innocent intentions, so she should hear those out and consider them. But you have also just learned that your girlfriend doesn't like that you like to post of a woman pole dancing. Either accept that and don't do it again or break up.
And look how she found it. Like I said, it wasn't like he liked it and shared it and said, hey, let's support her together and then you can have a talk about it. It was, hey, this pole dancer showed up on my suggestion, which comes from basically being connected somehow because he liked the post. Maybe he follows her page. Who knows? I didn't catch that detail in this thing. And
the algorithm takes into account not just what you interact with, but what your friends interact with to a lesser extent, of course. But it will feed that to you to see if you interact with it and then feed you some more.
And she either looked at it because she was suspicious of things or she went, why is this person showing up on my page? And then she sees your comment. So you may not have intended to be, with a D, dastardly. It's an old word, meaning evil. Okay.
Dastardly.
Not dastardly, but dastardly. But you were underhanded and sneaky. And you know what? Your biggest mistake was not having a secret Instagram so that you could like whatever you want. Nobody cares.
So I'm actually in the process of trying to clean up what's technically my Instagram, even though I don't really use it. Because back when I was really trying to make, when I was trying to do the D&D podcast that ended up falling through, I gave my brother the Instagram and said, make this grow, because that's kind of what he was doing at the time. And he followed all kinds of trash. And so I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, this, even though I didn't subscribe to these, it's still linked to me. And so I've been slowly going through and trying to unfollow all of these randos that I don't know what they're posting. It could be trash, it could be good, but I don't want to be associated with these unknown quantities.
I am freaking near being a celebrity on Instagram. I have 11,000 followers on Instagram. Most of those are thought bots. That's THOT, thought bots. Where it's the porn pages. I'm sorry, YouTube, the adult-friendly creator content following me so that hopefully I'd follow back, right? And Instagram, they never unfollow.
Adult entrepreneurs.
That's it, sir. That's it. And so, I'm following 190 people. They're all real people, I believe. But I would dare say, half of my following is just the auto ads and the, hey, they're handsomes kind of people that, hey, you know what? Numbers are numbers, man. Whatever works. It's gotten me some money from Instagram in the past, so I'll take it.
During the post show, remind me. I wanna talk about.
Oh, where Kelsey can't hear you. Gotcha.
No, she knows. She knows all about this. But it's not necessarily appropriate for daytime television. We'll take it to late night.
It is dark as sin outside, sir. I don't know why. You know what, though? Patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy. You get it all right there, unedited, which means sometimes 3 hours of content. But yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Should we go ahead and roll some dice?
Let's roll some dice. And when I see your kids again, we're going to do a TikTok where I instruct them on how to say Parliament of Popeyes correctly.
Okay.
How do I?
Live without. I do that every stinking time. Go for it.
All right. So this one is, how do I ensure my kids learn gratitude and appreciation in today's world? I've seen a lot of very entitled people, not just kids, and so fostering a sense of gratitude among your kids, I think is an important thing to do.
Well, the number one answer for me is you got to be grateful. Is it on the board? No, I'm just kidding. It's not fairly but you have to model that life, period, to start with.
Yeah. And I fully believe that, because they will, whatever you do, they will learn either passively or actively just by the role model figure that you are being. But I think there's definitely ways that we can actively entice it as well. Part of it's not spoiling them. Make them earn things. Yeah. We talked about many moons ago about giving many moons ago. Yeah. About giving money to our kids, an allowance.
Yeah.
And all everyone that was on that night, I think it might have just been you, me, and Kurt. We were all on board that they shouldn't get an allowance just for existing. They should have to earn an allowance. And I everything you do, just remind them that kids aren't contributing a whole lot to society at this point, and they're existing because people are providing for them. And so remind them, hey, this isn't your house. You didn't pay for none of it. No.
No, you were being funny, but every once in a while, you got to slam that hammer down. When they started getting attitude, I was like, I'm sorry, whose is it? Did you go get a job and pay for it? Hopefully it's rare. But this actually came up tonight. But I want to step back before I tell that story. I want to step back. And kids will absorb. I'm making up the number because I don't know the exact statistic, but I'm saying they're going to absorb 80% of what you do and like 20% of what you say. And so being grateful, modeling that, doing that all the time is a muscle. And it just goes naturally to me now because I've worked on it for decades. And some of that was not. My kids saw me being ungrateful at times, and I've had to work through that with them. But set 1 and set 2 are far enough apart that I changed enough in that 5-year gap from set 1 to set 2 of the kids that set 2 lived differently now than set 1 did. And you can see a difference. And it's because I changed and Aaron changed, and we became better at being more positive role models and fixing our stuff in our lives. But tonight, Crosby, my oldest daughter, 19 years old, and she said her brother just got an air conditioner put in his outhouse, if you will. So he now has we got an electrician to wire it up, so we actually have power and lights in both of their sheds, and now he has an AC unit mounted in the wall.
That's a deluxe outhouse.
It really is. It really is. When he moves out and I put my toilet in, it's gonna be so good. Can you imagine a toilet and a big screen TV? Come on, Joe. Come on. I'll put a second toilet in with a divider. You can come hang with me.
You never have to leave.
Right? We'll get just a little cubicle wall.
Fridge.
I want a cubicle wall, have 2 toilets. You'll be on one side, and we'll be watching Demon Slayer and pooping. It'd be awesome.
And we'll stream it from the waist up.
But my wife's talking about, she's not out there all the time. She doesn't use it all the time. And Oakland does live in his, so on and so forth. And talking about the air conditioner, I went, it's $100. I mean, she found a good deal on one that fits that small space. It's a smaller one. It was like $150, which in the big grand scheme of things is not a ton of money. Crosby could save up for it. We could put some money aside, whatever. It's not a big deal. And I made that point. It's like, yeah, I guess I could. And then my daughter pipes up. She goes, well, if we're going to buy the air conditioner, let's just replace the one in my room. And I stopped. And why kept going? I was like, no. I'm sorry. What's wrong with your air conditioner? Oh, it just didn't work as well. I was like, one, when's the last time you changed the filter? Because I'm always on them about that. Oh, I changed it every 2 months. I said, when was the last, we changed it. She said, well, probably about 2 months ago. Whatever, sure. You better change it.
Well, then it's due.
Yeah, it's due. And two, I said to her, what's wrong with it? I literally walked down the hall and cold is pouring out of your room. Those girls keep it on 24/7, cranked up to 10. It's one of those that doesn't have a temperature. It's like mine over here in the studio. You just turn it up to 10 or 7 or whatever.
They want to turn it up to 11. It doesn't do that.
All right, that's Final Tap. But it is freezing in there. And then they'll bundle in these huge blankets. And I've gone in there and turned it down going, you're killing me, Smalls. There's no reason for it to blast all this time. And I like it cool in my house. It's cold. And she's like, well, it just didn't work as well. I was like, tell me again how it doesn't work as well when the cat has to leave the room because it's too cold. Tell me again. And I said, this is a lesson you're going to have to learn. It is too easy right now. I said, y'all have to learn different lessons as you're transitioning into adulthood. Her school year finished up. I'm not getting into that tonight. But I said, this is one of the lessons. It's too easy. You're not, by no means are you a spoiled brat, but you are well taken care of because it's too easy for you to spend somebody else's money. So I'm going to tell you, whatever you want to do with an air conditioner, your mom cannot pay for it. I'm not going to pay for it. You need to save up because you are going to have the hardest transition into the world of having to pick, do I pay my rent today or do I replace an air conditioner that stopped working? And we had some talks about that, but we've done a good job at her being grateful and all the kids being grateful. And you see that in them giving, stop it, John. We see that in her giving to her friends and taking care of, they all have, it's a good problem to have, but they all have this problem of taking care of people and being too nice. And even at Christmas, when we give them the option of how they want to do it, they like drawing the name from the hat kind of thing and messing around, and they love that connection. And I wish I could give real good steps of how I got there, other than always telling them to be grateful. And that's been my biggest problem. I wouldn't say biggest. That's been a pointed problem. I've had to yell at them, like, right now, you're a very ungrateful human being. I do not want to be around you. And that's the flip side of it, is for me, is calling out when they're grateful and good and when they're not. So what do you have to say, Joey?
I've never actually done this with my kids, and I'm thinking maybe I ought to, but I've heard of other families who, not every month, but maybe 1 month will go through and do the month's budget with their kids so they better appreciate, how much money is going into the household before they're, worrying about, oh, I didn't get this toy this month or whatever. We're like, yeah, we're spending this much money to keep a roof over your head, or this much money to feed you. Because especially, teenagers, they'll just eat and eat and eat and eat. We're like, this afternoon.
You don't even know yet, Bubba. You're getting
this,
there.
This afternoon, you just ate $200 worth of snacks.
Yeah.
And so, go through and actually show the kids how much stuff actually costs, so that they have a better understanding of an appreciation of what things are valued at market value. Because I've seen way too many stories where kids break stuff and they're just like, buy me a new one.
Yeah.
And like, you didn't appreciate the one you had. Why would I buy you a new one? Why would I spend that money? And, I think teaching them to appreciate what they have instead of the newer, better thing will go a long way.
Well, I will admit in my house it's a little more difficult because I like the newer, better thing. And so I do try to balance, like, I worked hard for this. I made a big point with this projector that I said, no, it's very expensive. Well, comparatively, I had the bonus, and I was like, I've wanted it for 1 year to 2 years, and I just did it for myself for a Christmas present. But that's the first time they see me buy something expensive in a very long time.
Well, and including them in that process, you're like, this is not an impulse buy.
Right.
This is something I waited for, and I did treat myself to it, but it wasn't like I'm treating myself to something, every month or whatever. This is every so often. And when they view that as this is something that, only happens every year or so.
Yeah.
Hopefully it makes them realize, I'm going to appreciate it that much more because, it doesn't come around as often.
You and Card up there have come up with a great idea, right? Y'all do the budget for a date day or whatever you call it, where they get the pick, and there's only so many, I think, a year, right? It's not once a month, right? It's like once a quarter or something.
Yeah. So what we do is we try to get one-on-one time with all of our kids, and so we rotate which kid and which parent. So it ends up being that me and my wife will go with each kid once a year, right? Isn't that how that works out?
Roughly twice a year.
Twice a year. Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. Twice a year. So we'll go with each kid twice a year because we have our 3 boys. And so every 3 months it's their turn, but with
But you worked
parent.
on the budget with them, so they get to see to make choices. I think that's a big step in teaching gratitude.
Yeah. So we told them, we're like, for these outings, you have this much for the entire year. And we're like, we have 2 stipulations for these outings. There has to be food involved. We could make it at home and take it, or we can go out to eat, whatever. There's food involved. So you sit down, you talk while you're eating a meal, and there needs to be some kind of an activity. And again, it doesn't have to be a paid activity. It could be, a walk in the park or something, and we've given them ideas for doing things on the cheap if they wanted to, if they needed, if they don't have the budget for it. But yeah, so like, for instance, the last couple of ones, the kids wanted to go see the Minecraft movie. So one-on-one, we went and saw the Minecraft movie. And yeah, so it definitely shows which of the kids are better at budgeting to be honest.
Yeah. I would like people to write in and call in with their ideas. What hit the how do I question again?
The how do I?
Yeah, what we're talking about right now.
The how do I ensure my kids learn gratitude and appreciation in today's world?
And that's what I'm going. Yeah, wiseandnerdy.com/call-dad. We'll play it on other shows, right? Obviously, because you can't call in right this second. But I
mean, you
really
could, as long as you let me know to download it real quick.
Full run through with this kid that has autism, Casey J, who has autism, but he has a kid. I'd like to know. I'd like to hear what that, and anybody listening. I'm very curious as to what you've done for your children, or what you wish you've done because you did it the wrong way and you wish you've done it differently. Because there's no judgment here. We listen and we broadcast it to the world. So, but we don't judge. Well, okay, we do. We just don't say it much on TV.
Especially if you're a bad driver.
I want to start that new trend. We listen and I judge the crap out of you. But yeah, because we both have made efforts. You're I'd say halfway there because your kids are hitting the preteen years.
Yeah, just living on a prayer.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. It's the flying spaghetti monster in this house sometimes. But anyway, it's good to see. My daughter actually
right over your head. I love it.
Halfway there. No, I got it, Joe. I just also took it to heart for what you meant by it. So.
Man.
I'm not nerding out about that joke, but you are nerding out about some awesome stuff.
Yes, I am. So this past weekend, I went camping with my two oldest. So at our church,
I'm surprised there was no snow. Why would you go camping?
Right? At our church, when you're 12 or up, they consider you a young man or young woman.
Young man.
Yes. And so the young men's did a camp out, and they said if your parent comes along, then the boys that will be young men next year can tag along. So that would include my oldest and my middle child, Bob. And so we went camping. Had a ton of fun. It was my middle child's first time really camping. Like, he's done indoor camping with my in-laws, where they set up the tent in their basement.
Okay.
But
sure.
Yeah. So went
that
camping.
Fire must have been weird, though.
It was well, they've got a fire pit on their back porch, so they just went out there on their back deck.
Okay.
But yeah, so we went camping, had a ton of fun, cook over the fire. There was a river, went swimming in the river a bit. The next day we went on a 4-mile hike, and also swam in a different part of the river. And it was just a lot of fun with a lot of great people, and had a blast. And I brought my I've got a big Anchor battery pack because I've got my CPAP. So ran my CPAP off of that all night. I'm
actually a little jealous. I want one. I don't have a use for one of those, but I want one of those.
Yeah. So I had a smaller one, and I took it on a camping trip last year, and it didn't last the whole night with my CPAP. So I returned it and got one that was twice as big, the next size up, but it was twice as big. And also got an attachment, which I've never actually used the attachment, but I've got an attachment that can charge it with solar panels. So if it's a multi-day camping thing, through the day, hopefully I can charge it enough to run my CPAP in the night. But so a ton of fun camping. The boys were crazy. They actually 2 a.m. they're fighting because one of them can't find the zipper to get out of the tent to go pee. I'm just like, shut it. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. And we just had a blast. And I'm really proud of my oldest, because a lot of times when it comes to anything outdoorsy, he's super pessimistic. But he's been his attitude's been a lot more optimistic, and he had a lot of fun this time as well. And so it ended up being a really good time, really good bonding moment between us. So
good. This is for Casey J. You said you went on a 4-mile hike, yeah?
Yeah, 2 miles to a swimming area and then 2 miles back.
Well, 1 more mile and you would have found 5 Mile Creek. So I don't expect you to get that. I do expect Casey to get that. So it's an Australian show that Disney brought to America when I was a child, and I watched every episode of it. And it's like Little House on the Prairie in the Badlands of Australia, in the west of
Beware
Australia.
the dingoes.
Yeah, they did actually eat that baby. By the way, turned out to be true.
They did.
Yep.
Which
it took 20 years for them to figure that out, but yeah.
How many people made a joke out of it?
Well, they just solved it like 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
5. Yeah. It was it's a fascinating story now. But anyway, it's not what we're talking about. I am nerding about being a nerd, okay? I am a magic maker. I figure things out. I'm a smart guy. I'm very much, I can duplicate as well. So if I can see, like, I'm not a coder at heart. I cannot do what you do, Joe. If I were to say, hey, make something that will scan this sheet and pull all the stuff off and make a spreadsheet for it, right? I can't do that. But I could look at your code, and if it's close enough to a different project, I could modify it enough to work for that project. All right? Yeah. That's where I can do. I'm very good at that. And I'm working with a project right now called We Serve Network. I have a new show on it called Born to Serve. That's built for that network. It's not a regular thing. It's special interviews and whatnot. And I get to do what I love doing and talking to people who give back and do different things. And so that's building. Long story short, I worked with Barbara Beach on the Military Appreciation Channel many years ago. And our paths parted. Perfect timing in December. They came back together. And one of the things she had in the past was a Roku channel, like an actual channel on Roku on any device that you just go and download and watch. And it's a huge seller, because that's part of what we're doing is we're building that business back up, selling podcast sessions to our niche, which is basically people who serve charities and people who want to serve those who serve, like David Alemian. I just interviewed him for One EMS a while back, where he has a thing to help retain, basically give an extra retirement to firefighters, EMS, and other people, military, not military per se, but anyway, he wants to serve those who serve, and it's a good product. I like it. And so he's actually wanting to do a podcast that serves his thing. It's not just commercial, but it gets his word out, those kind of things. So It's the kind of person who would never just sit down and do a podcast, and they wouldn't just want to do one like we do. It's not for entertainment, it's for a specific purpose. So it's usually 1 hour a month. And I show up with something like this, the talk studio, and boom, 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 bing, bang, bong, record you. So all you got to do is show up, you talk to your guests. Barb sets up the guests, preps the host, all that jazz. Then afterwards, I do a lot of post-production. Looks amazing. Go check it out on One EMS. You can see some of the stuff I did with David Alemian, and it's great. But the biggest sell is to say, hey, we have a Roku channel, and for X amount of money a month, your show will go up on our Roku channel, and you can just tell anybody you want, hey, it's Rad TV, or it's the We Serve Network. We haven't decided exactly where we're going to brand it, because it used to be Rad TV, which is a great brand. Radioactive Broadcasting was the platform she had. Here's the thing. Everything changes, right? And she hasn't really been messing with it since she dropped a little bit during COVID, came back a little bit, but then her husband got sick in like 2022, and that took 2.5 years of her life dealing with. So she let everything fall away. The person that helped her before did it the hard way. Now, I don't know what it was like trying to code for Roku back then and everything else, but he did it the hard way. It's like, you got When you do F12 on the internet, it's not examine the page. It's
the dev tools.
Yeah, basically the dev tools where you can see the code of the page. It's called a certain thing. I can't think of it right now. But he's like, you do this tools. And you scroll down and, you copy this thing and you just like, well, I don't need to do that. I can actually go to GitHub, put my video there, or not my video, my photo there that I want to be the poster art and do the link that way. So GitHub is a great tool that I guess I didn't have a couple years ago, didn't know about, whatever. What I couldn't do is so Roku had this thing called Direct Publisher on it, which is supposed to make it super easy. You just go in, paste the code in, and it just does it, right? And it's basic, right? You're not going to get a Netflix feel to it. You're not going to get the posters in the background. You're not going to get all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
But it would work. Except they got rid of that last year, and you have to do SDK only. So Roku's done a really good job of documenting. Here's how, because every time I Google something that comes up, here's how you change your channel over to SDK, how you convert it to SDK. But Google, websites that are supposed to be helping me with this specifically, Vimeo is where we host a lot of the videos right now. Vimeo is a really cool hosting site for $25 a month. You can have a terabyte of video, and they have showcases, which if you go look at weservenetwork.org, and look at our shows, those are all Vimeo showcases. Like I just pasted in the code. So as I post up a new video, that showcase, it just updates and looks great, and it's cool.
Okay. So because Vimeo gives you the embed code automatically, right?
Yep, all that. So a lot of great tools. And as she's talking about rebuilding this Roku thing, if I can see the old code, I can figure out how to do it. But I could not find SceneGraph. I was like, what is SceneGraph? I can't find SceneGraph. BrightSpark is a coding language. I got Visual Studio for Microsoft free, right? It's their free thing, whatever. But it said it's supposed to do it. Every piece of documentation said just go to the Visual Store, Visual Editor, whatever, and type in BrightSpark. No, that plugin does not exist, sir. So everything I'm saying about coding, I can't do because I can't even get step one. So frustrating. So frustrating. I can't follow the tutorial videos because I can't get the plugin. That it's literally Microsoft Store. It's right there. I hit the button. Nothing happens.
Didn't you send me a text about this, asking if I knew anything about like BrightSpark?
I did. You say text. I say hell Joe. Hell Jerry. Joe Mary. Hell Joe. Oh, hell Joe Bob Mary. That's what I said. I said, hell Joe Bob Mary, can you please tell me what the heck BrightSpark is? Because it's a type of coding language. But everything says this plugin or this extension is just right there. It's not. It's on the Microsoft Visual Store even. Like if I Google it, hit the button, nothing. It won't. So I had to scrap that because I can't code this by hand, which would take forever anyway. But I can't. So they used a thing called Instant TV Channel before. It's all right. I'll go check it out. Well, lo and behold, the old account is gone. So like, cool. Log me into the old account, reset that password. I'm good to go because I can duplicate everything I see there. I guess it got purged or something. Can't get into it. Free account. I started my own account and started playing around. Was getting steps done. When I say, Joe, every piece, and when I say every, I've days and hours and days and hours of just searching and learning and figuring out and setting things up like GitHub, figuring out how to do Canva. I know how to do Canva, but getting the right format. Okay, I made this logo. Put it in GitHub. Now take the GitHub thing and put it into this thing. Okay, it worked. I've done all this stuff, and I get I pay for the Chat GPT. It's a beautiful thing when you pay for it. I've been using it to help me, but every time it spits out a step, it references the direct publisher. And I'm like, no, this is outdated information. Roku does not support direct publishing since October of 24.
That's one of the big issues with GitHub in general, especially when it comes to coding, is it's pulling from all of the internet. And there's stuff that's, 10 years ago would have been great information, but it ain't anymore.
Right. And so but there's one piece of information that kept popping up. Now, here's the thing with Vimeo, right? And Roku. There's Roku Developer, where you make the channel. And not everybody uses the term developer. right? So it's just Roku channel sometimes. But then there's Roku apps, like YouTube is on Roku. And so I kept seeing this thing pop up. Vimeo is no longer supporting Roku. Now it's contradicting information because on Vimeo today, you can log in, look at the showcase. It says TV apps, and it's like right there. Here's your Roku link right here. You just copy it. And I'm like looking at their how to do setup things and like, oh yeah, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't. Some of it says direct publisher, which I know is not correct, and some of it doesn't. But it's still available on Vimeo today. I finally reached out because my hard part was I can make the grid show up. I can make the posters show up, backgrounds. I mean, there's some tweaking stuff, but I could get it done. So Instant TV does, it's like a GUI for coding. It lets you fill in the information, and then it packages it with the Bright Spark and Scene Graph and all this stuff in the background and gives you an SDK to download, which then you turn around and upload Roku, okay? Could never get a video to work. Couldn't get the I wanted the showcase to do it because that would have been perfect, right? Each show has its own showcase, and you could see all the different videos. Could not get it to work for the life of me. Couldn't get single videos to work. The documentation from the guy who did it many years ago, again, way off, way hard. But I even took the link he had, which is not a link I had originally from Vimeo, put it in, couldn't get it to work. Found a CDN for video, which is, I think it's Certified Distribution Network. It's CDNs basically are places that give you enterprise level video. Because like what we're doing right now, as good as it looks on our side, as good as we can record it, we can put up 4K video on YouTube. YouTube's going to compress it. It's not enterprise level video. It is user level video. So I'm semi-familiar with CDNs from many years ago. I hadn't refreshed it in a while, but I found a CDN link for me. Still didn't work. And this thing is just clogging up my creativity because I needed it to break loose because right there, I just knew I was missing one piece. Could not get the help I needed to make it work.
You got to put a stint in.
And, well, I tried, and Joe Bob Mary didn't help me out. So stints was gone too. And in a talk today, I was talking to Barbara, and she just has a circular way of doing things, but it gets my brain going. And what I was trying to do was make Vimeo work because it kept saying it would work. 2 days ago, I reached out to their tech support and said, hey, I can't get it to work. I'm doing this, and this, following everything I follow. The video will not play. Reference to Instant TV channel, all that stuff. Got a copy and paste response back that had a freaking link to direct publisher, whatever it was they don't support anymore. And I clicked it just to see if maybe it was a link I hadn't found. Takes me to the Roku page. It's supposed to be all about it. Page not found. Right? And I'm like, this is your support, Vimeo. And then I did a quick Google search, and I really read it. It says, did Vimeo stop supporting Roku developer? I did that directly and came up with yes. 2023, Joe. 2023, Vimeo said we will not support Roku and Amazon Fire and all that because we believe you get a better experience on our site. Everything else I'd read led me to believe that they just weren't going to put the Vimeo app on Roku so you could watch Vimeo. No. Once I've Googled developer, then Google AI came up with all the extra articles I was missing. Yeah, 2023, they announced it. By October of last year, Joe, nixed it 100%. And yet today, by the way, everybody, this recording is in June of 2025. And their tech support is still saying, oh, yeah, you could do it here. No, as I said earlier, liar! Oh my God, no. That word does not mean what I think you think it means.
That's okay? It's probably AI tech support.
Oh my God. It's definitely copy and paste tech support. So all that frustration, and then what? How about if I just forget Vimeo? Where else can I try? And I started going down that rabbit hole, and I kept seeing like what we're paying for Instant TV channels is a free channel. Then I upgraded to the $5 a month thing that gets me RSS feeds. Like, because I was trying that, so maybe if I pay for the RSS, I could put the showcase in there, and it's a feed. No, but I noticed, and then the max you're going to pay is $50 a month, and that's enterprise level. Da, da, da. And then I saw a note as I'm thinking in a different path. It says, while you're not required to use AWS or S3, they go back and forth with terms, but that's the Amazon Web Services, right?
Yeah.
Or S3 is there. Yeah. It is very helpful. And if you get to this level, there's a handshake thing that we do for you to make it easy. I went, huh. Well, as I'm Googling CDNs, which there's some really good ones out there. MUX is a decent one for a good price as far as it goes. They seem to have very good pricing. I didn't try them, but they look like a decent site. CDN Bunny was also another one I was going to try. However, I went right to the source, went to AWS Cloud Services, and they have CloudFront, I think is what they called it. But basically, I set up the account and jumped through some hoops. And ChatGPT is my best friend. I was like, one though, me and Chatty have got to have a sit down. I'll come to Jesus meeting. When I ask you for a step, I don't need 15 steps. I need you to break down this part and let me understand it, and then we'll go to the next part, buddy. Stop over, man. It overwhelms me with information. I'm like,
yeah,
I need step one and step
your
two.
inner Clippy.
Yes, Joe. Bring Clippy back. Bring Clippy. No, just me. Okay. But yeah, but it did. It's like, oh, here's how you set this thing up. You actually have to set two different things up in AWS for this to work. But with me reading and learning and doing it, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, I had the two things set up, messed one thing up, and ChatGPT was like, well, you need to have this code to update your bucket. It's called a bucket. You got to update your bucket. So the bucket's private. You can't just go get the video. But if I use this other link for it, then it can be requested from places like Roku. And it gave me the right code. Well, then I found where I missed it in Amazon itself. And the code, exact same thing. The code was there. Oh, cool. Done. Oh my God, Joe. Days and days of knowing there was a problem. This is what I was going to ask you earlier. Now I'm throwing it to you, sir. Tell me you're like me, where you're like, I know in the deepest parts of my soul, I've got this. I'm just missing that one piece. And when it falls in, I'm glorious.
I mean, you got to get through like 1,200 episodes, but yeah, that one piece.
Oh, I see what you did there. Butt face.
But no, that happens to me so often at work where I'm coding something. I'm like, I know I've got one small error that I am missing. And if I can figure that one thing out, the whole thing will fall into place. And that's happened to me quite a few times at work where, yeah.
And let me tell you my other frustration. Besides, I'm so happy. Now it's just about cosmetics. Now it functions. Now I know, boom, 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 video. It's going to take some work and some time, but once it's up and running, it's just updating the next show. And I've got to do it separately from the public. The public's to Vimeo, makes our website look great. The private's to Amazon. We'll have to do whatever. It's just a step. One, huge frustration. Roku has tons of documentation on their site saying we don't do direct publisher, and yet Google search in general, Google Gemini AI and ChatGPT, because I don't use Gemini, but I use automatically puts up the AI search. I don't turn that off, so I let the AI do it somewhere at the top. None of them could get past direct publisher. None of them. They kept saying direct publisher. Vimeo still having that crap on their site after publicly saying we're stopping support. How did you not kill that back in October, much less now? Now your tech support is just copying and pasting BS that's not relevant anymore. Those are problems. But my heart goes to the guy who wrote Instant TV channel. I can tell he is a nerd. He is a coder's coder, because he saw this thing that he's charging so little for it. I mean, because I looked. I was like, what if we just hire somebody? $400, $500, $600 a month plus a $300 setup. That's the low end. The high end is like $200 or $300 a month, but a $2,000 setup, right? It's for them to do it for you. Now he's providing the service that lets me do it, and he's got some good basic documentation. He's got some good basic training videos, but it comes from a tech standpoint. And this is where I want to reach out. I might. It's where I want to reach out to him, like, please let me help you. your videos are 3 years old. They still work. I mean, they're still relevant, but they're 3 years old. You updated a little bit. Good on you. But you obviously did it from you tried to dumb it down, but you're so smart. You're so smart. You thought dumbing it down is still way up over most people's heads. Let me be your translator.
I'm in general, I consider myself better than most developers when it comes to explaining things in layman's terms. But there are times where I see the eyes mist over, and I'm like, yeah, I went too technical with that.
Well, it's like his video shows how to use this site, and there's two different ones. There's a regular channel and a grid channel, and it shows you how to set up either one of them. And it walks you through, and it tells you right where to look. It doesn't explain all 50 rows that are there. It just explains 4 or 5 that are relevant to just getting started with his examples. Cool. His examples are in there. Cool. You didn't fully explain, if I wanted to do this, I have to actually add these steps. You didn't explain some of this other stuff, and you really should explain Amazon AWS is free to get started up to, like, I don't remember. I've seen so many numbers today. I don't think it's a terabyte of data. I think it's maybe 100 gigs of data or something. But that's out, right? It's if you're where we're starting with viewership of little, as it ramps up to good viewership, you're paying a penny. Maybe it is a terabyte. I saw a couple. I looked at a bunch of CDNs today with all their numbers, but they're all relevant. They were like, if you get a terabyte for free, and then any terabyte over that's a penny per 100 gigs or something like that. So it's affordable as you scale. If you're getting that many people watching that much stuff, now I understand data today, HD video is a gig. So, whatever, you should be monetizing that. Otherwise, why are you messing around? But I would love for you to see, maybe I'll play it for you before next show or the next show I'm on or something and let you give some insight. But I could tell, I can infer, oh, you thought you dumbed it down. Like, oh, I showed you what I did, and now you'll just do it. It's like, I bring the magic, and I'm very smart, and I'm a puzzle doer. I don't know, puzzle player. I figured this stuff out. So I was a good paramedic. From A, I can start with A, and I can have F, and I can figure out every little level in between to get you there. Days, man. Days. Like yesterday, I had a bad day because I just couldn't get it done. I spent all 8 hours, all day, trying things, working on things, research, search, look, play on my phone because my brain hurts. All right, back, search, look. Could not get it. With that breakthrough. So, Joe, we can develop a Wise and Nerdy channel for
the ROKU app.
Yeah, for the ROKU app for $5 a month, and we could have our own ROKU channel. We might have to start. We could even put clips next to it and have the regular shows. We could do all kind of cool stuff, man. So I'm so happy right now because that's on the same day that I get the call that, hey, your clock's up, buddy. You're out the door July 1st. God bless America. I don't know.
America.
So, oh, can you finish that statement?
America.
Oh, Lord.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock God of Podcasting. Joe at Joseph_Ard. Check out the website, wiseandnerdy.com. And as always, they may not be your father, but they'll always be your daddy.
Keep talking, Mike.
Shut up, Mike.
Jenny.